Your host, Tariq Mendez, takes you on a journey with guests from all around the world. Broadcasting around the world. Around the world. This is Tariq Talk.
She seems like, chill, like you could approach her like at a party, just like, hey.
Yeah, so
like
that's really important to me, is being able, again, the psychology of these people and being as authentic as possible and not having an idealized look. I see, and this is not to take away from anyone else. There's a lot of artists out there that do portraiture that I love, but I think a lot of times, in my experience, the portraits have been kind of idealized with this sort of stoic, like, I'm this person and I'm important, and they have this kind of almost, kind of
like, especially those like European type of portraits.
They either have like a stern look or like a blink, kind of,
like
I'm just a person.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to focus on, again, trying to depict these people and their element as who they are. And I'm glad you said the whole party thing. Yeah. That's who this person is.
Really? That's who she is. Like, it reminds me like of a friend.
So her and her friend are they I don't know if she still dances, but her friend was like a big time dancer. She has like a Instagram following, and they dance a lot. But she, in particular, was in the shelter system as well, and my mother was a single mother, and she's a single mom, and I'm still, sort of working on some of the details of her daughter and just finishing up the painting in general. I wanted to try to depict her in a way that she'll feel comfortable with it, mostly, in a dignified way that she'll feel comfortable with, in a way that's not idealized, that's a little bit more realistic, that's more inviting, that doesn't feel like, again, like this person is kind of looking down on you or kind of staring at you like I'm special, and just more of them just being a person, just being a human being and being in their element. Like I said, she's I initially I didn't work totally from life. From this, I did some drawings from life. I did some sketches. When I started, I did like a basic paint layout, and then I took several pictures. She came into my studio in Bushwick. I took several pictures, and started to build up from there. But I wanted to, again, focus on. This is also for me a means of recording history. What were people wearing during that time? What were people doing during that time? Single mothers existed. I'm not sure if that's something that's very common in contemporary art. So I wanted to talk about a lot of those things, and I thought about I tend to think about what ways painting affects me. And when I was at SVA, we learned about like watermelons. And how painting has been useful through history. And we looked at watermelons, and if you look at a watermelon now, they barely have any seeds. Most watermelons barely have any seeds. They're genetically modified. But then there's a painting, and I don't know the exact painting, but there's a painting from like the Renaissance.
That has like a bunch of like, it's like deformed almost.
Well, the watermelon is much smaller, and the seeds are huge. Yeah. So it just shows, historically, they didn't have cameras back then. So it upholds a certain level of science and history, through those means.
Very smart.
So I wanted to, even though it may just seem like she's just wearing this crop top hoodie, maybe in 20 years, people may not be wearing those. They may be wearing something different.
In 100 years, we'll be dressed like robots.
Like
something. We won't even be like clothing.
So I can say, there was a time when this was in fashion. Remember that time?
Humans would carry their kids on the hip. Now we have a machine, It's like, you never know. It's so cool.
So that was, my purpose of doing both of these depictions. This is another younger artist, and I just wanted to be able to pay them some respect and let them know that they're valuable, in that way, that they were worth taking the time to paint, and and even to pay them for sitting as a model. You know, that these things are important to me, that they can be important to them, that they can be seen as people who are worth, you know, my hope would be, once I finish these, to maybe move forward to a few more and have a show. And I would love to see them at the show and come in and be able to see, you know, their painting on the wall and how it affects them. Yeah.
Thank you for listening to Tariq Talk. Follow Tariq Talk on all social media channels and check out the video interviews online.